Howdy, all you delicious people. I am here today to talk about Money in the Bank 2025. Woohoo! A PLE that I was supposed to get just so amped up about and so excited. And instead, I was bored. I was bored. For honestly, any of the lead up to any of these things, I haven't seen much of anything from the last PLE to now this one. So if you're asking about lead ups and all this kind of stuff, I have no clue. The only thing that I knew about was a main event between R-Truth and John Cena on Saturday night's main event. And that's all that I really know what was going on as far as story and such was concerned, because I didn't care. Because really, I was grinding away on Temu for hours. I was going on and I was doing so much stuff for this channel. And also, really, I was having WWE at the furthest backest part of my mind because I had a billion other things to just think about in my life. So, when going into this PLE, I was like, man, this is 3 hours of my life that I'm probably not going to get back. And then when watching this, I'm like, this was not good enough. This was not good enough for any other Money in the Bank that I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just like, man, is this just the WWE quality that we're getting now? That, like, we're to be so confused between a Monday Night Raw and a Money in the Bank? And I'm to go on and probably say that there are probably, like, Monday Night Raws that were probably better than this Money in Bank PLE. And there were ladder matches. Man, if we could have gone and actually had the Women's Intercontinental Championship match have some kind of stipulation. Because really, like, at this point, the two of them need a stipulation. The Lyra and Becky match was so effing boring. And I'm seriously looking at this match. I'm like, they're giving me hip tosses and superplexes. And they're obviously getting, like, exhausted within minutes of this match. And I'm forced to just watch this nonsense. I'm like, I just want to skip this match and go to whatever the next one is. This is so, like, the build all the way up to the Lyra and Becky Lynch match. I was looking at this match. I'm like, I'm so bored with this PLE. I really don't know if I want to go on and watch the rest of this. But I stuck to it. I stuck to my guns. I watched the whole thing. The whole 3 hours. Not the whole 6 hours and change that was, like, before that nonsense where they just talk about the matches and they're just, oh man, we got a Big E and a bunch of other people just have to talk about these matches and speculate and nothing gets accomplished by just doing any of that nonsense. I loved the pre-show when the pre-show actually had matches. That was worth my time, not just people going on and blabbing about, like, man, this match, oh man, what's gonna happen? I have to go on and watch them blab on for a certain amount of time about, like, man, what's gonna happen in this match? Really? That's worth it? Yeah. No. Not worth it at all. But so, speaking of worth it, squash match incoming. So, we have Dominic Mysterio, and we have Octagon Jr., which I'm like, okay, AAA guy. Who? You had to have told me that this guy was from AAA, because I am not that in the know of AAA. And then also, like, Octagon Jr. had a really good moveset. I'll give him that. There is some spinning corkscrew stuff that he did here that I was actually interested in, but really, I'm just like, who cares about Octagon Jr.? Who gives a about this guy? Are you seriously going to go on and give this guy the belt? A guy who hasn't really been enough on my telly for me to care. If they were to have gone on to give Octagon Jr. this belt, I would have been shocked because I'm like, this guy doesn't have enough of just character. Like, this guy just looks like a knockoff version of Pentagon. And then also, like, it looks like something that I would have downloaded on WWE 2K25 if I had said game, because I don't. But Octagon Jr. This guy had some impressive movesets. He did. And really, I'm crapping on a guy that, in all honesty, when you look at the WWE roster as a whole, you just get a bunch of guys that are all just wearing a pair of jeans and knee and elbow pads, and then, like, you slap a name on them, and they're a WWE superstar. You're going on and finding other wrestlers that just have names on their trunks, and that's about as high as quality as WWE superstar really means at this point. There is no real characters anymore, as well as also, like, how many, like, supernatural characters besides, like, Aleister Black do we really have? And where is Aleister Black? Why isn't he on this PLE? Why isn't Miro on this PLE? What, you just kind of keep having to give him both of them squash matches so they can be undefeated? F that nonsense. But whatever. At least they could have given me more entertaining matches than just this nonsense that I've gone on and I would have seen throughout this whole entire PLE. Let's talk about the ladder matches. For the female side of things, if Rhea Ripley isn't involved, I'm not really interested. Because it's true, the spots that Rhea Ripley was involved, things got more interesting. But then anything besides that, it was just them, like, just kind of like, hey, let's have this ladder at some point in the part of the ring, and let's just keep swapping people out. The male wrestling ladder match thing, Money in the Bank, was to have gone on and just been like, well, I'm just so curious what's going to happen in this match. Who's going to win this one? And then on top of that, we have, like, so many people with factions now. Everybody has to have a faction. And also, LA Knight is dead as a doornail. This guy should just be turned heel, because maybe they'll actually do something with him. Maybe they'll figure him out. Because I'm just so bored with LA Knight at this point. As well as also, where was Andrade in this whole entire match? That's how much I really care about Andrade that I can't even go on and pronounce his name correctly. Because that's how much I give a shit about him. I don't think anybody does. Sadly enough. And then we have El Grande Americano, the national treasure of wherever. And I am just like, man, this guy is like, he has his back and he has his blood coming off his back. He has his elbow freaking taped up, and like he's doing this match, and I am just like, why? Not only that, like, he's doing all of these matches, and I am just like, why? He's not going to get pushed. He's not going to win. But anyways, and then we have just Pentagon looking exactly like Dominic Mysterio. I at one point was to get the two of them quickly confused. Oh, one has a mask. Oh, okay, my bad. I figured it out now. Their wardrobes are the exact same. Pretty much. It's weird. Speaking of the exact same, I'm hoping that there's not a lot of Canadian destroyers in in this PLE. If you could go on and here's a creative idea. If you could go on and take a ladder and put somebody into a Canadian destroyer and put it up, like, man, would that just be creative? Man, I hope no one goes on and steals that unique and beautiful snowflake of an idea, because, man, that would go on and put some butts in seats. In all honesty, there were some points where people were going on and chanting, "This is awesome," and I was like, really, is it though? Really, is it though, man? Like, alright, I guess you just had to find some spots that you did like. I liked some spots within these matches, but I really wasn't just be like, wow, these ladder matches really needed to be here. Because I'm thinking of, like, the Edge and Christian Dudley Boys Hardy match, ladder match that they had. And then I'm looking at this and I'm like, we have really changed what a gimmick match really means. We are just really taking these objects and seeing how just bare bones minimum can we do with them. But hey, one person does go through a ladder at one point. Through a ladder. Yay, one person. I could have probably have gone on and put together a computer simulation of this whole entire thing and gotten something off of WWE 2K25 that would have been a heck of a lot more entertaining than what we actually got in this PLE. How freaking sad is that? But then again, also, I don't have a copy of WWE 2K25 because I'm poor. I'm poor. But anyways, let's go on and let's talk about the main event. This tag team match where really we just needed a lot of people to get booked. And so this happened. There were some good parts of this match. The breakdown between two heels. The surprise of Men in Mask. And then also to really just hope that whoever was going to win the men's Money in the Bank match would have gone on and cashed in and won whatever championship, because both of them were in the main event together. And man, would that have been a cool way to have ended this whole PLE. Because reasonably, like, the Money in the Bank like briefcase winners, like, they kind of really meant nothing to me. Because logically, like, I was like, why would I have gone on and expected this PLE to have any real, like, significance to it? It just needs to exist at this point now. PLEs just need to exist. So let's go on and let's talk further about the matches and tell you the winners, and then just call this video a video. Let's just kind of get through this. So let's go on and let's cover the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, because that was the actual first match. So we go on to have the entrances, and I am like, nothing creative here. Besides maybe the outfits. And even that was really stretching it. I think the only creative outfits was actually just Naomi, in all honesty. Because she had a Money in the Bank wardrobe of her having, like, money and then the caution signs. And I'm like, man, I guess that whole caution sign thing is really starting to run thin for what she could really do with these outfits. And I'm just like, man, that outfit just looks atrocious. But whatever, just, like, slap something together. Just, you gotta keep wrestling in these goofy, weird attires. They have caution all over it. Yeah. Uh, so we end up getting all the other wrestlers, and I'm like, man, like Roxanne Perez just comes out in like the same exact gear but different colors and whatever, and I'm just like, God, like, can we give this girl like anything else? Can we do something with this character beyond her just being tied with the Judgment Day and she's doing something with that? I don't know what she's doing exactly. And then we have Julia. Julia, the girl with the dreads and the blue and the yellow and the she looks like a knockoff of Io Sky. I'm like, I think she's probably an NXT person, but I'm not quite sure. Never really seen her before. And I, after watching this match, was to just be like, well, if I ever saw her again, I would not have missed much. This person did not go on and logically stand out to me, even though I think, if anything, she was probably there more so than a lot of other people who are going on and taking the bumps and whichever. Because I guess it was to just like, hey, this girl needs to get the most camera time out of everyone else. Alexa Bliss, I was so happy to see her in this match because I'm like, all right, like, uh, like Alexa Bliss is going to bring a lot of fun to this match, and she did. I was hoping for her to kind of do more than what she actually did in this match, but I'm like, no. Like the 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 eye effing that her and Rhea were doing in this match, I was like, they should be a tag team. She wears black, Rhea wears black, tag team. Because that's the generic nonsense that like Steven Richards has gone on and said in his YouTube channel. Like, hey, you wear black, tag team. You have long hair, tag team. But I think actually Bliss and Rhea would actually make a pretty decent tag team. I think it would be good. Like, yeah, it's just flipping Alexa Bliss from Liv because Rhea and Liv was a tag team at one point, and Bliss and Rhea like could really be a good tag team. But like, I'm still thinking like, when is Bliss gonna end up with like the Wyatt Six? Because when is the Wyatt Six ever really gonna do anything besides blow out a candle and call it a day? Uh, have they gone on and done anything? Have they really gone on and done anything beyond blow out a candle for Bray Wyatt's birthday? Um, if they have actually done something, let me know in the comments below because I would have to go on and check that out because I'm like, I've never really seen them on T. I've never heard that they were on actually TV. Anyways, so we have Stephanie who's been wrestling 3 matches. You're not going to hear that 30 bajillion times every time she goes in the ring. Stephanie has been wrestling 3 matches, and I only saw one of them. And that was good enough for me because I'm like, Stephanie isn't really all that like ooh wow to me. Like, she looks attractive, but like, I'm just like, I don't really understand this person quite yet. And also, this definitely isn't the match to understand this character or to be ooh wowing about her. And then also, it seems that she just ends up taking the eat the feet move, Xavier Woods finisher, and she just uses it just as a move. And I'm like, wait a minute, like, uh, she just uses it as a throwaway move. And I'm like, how many people use like eat the feet, whatever, or eat defeat, or the the Xavier Woods finisher, like they use that as their finisher, but she's just using it as just some move. Anyways, so let's go on and let's talk about the spoilers. Spoilers for everybody. When I go on and I go like this, it's going to be spoiled of who the winner is. And then when I go on and talk about the spoiler, and then I just go on and just be like, okay, now you can go on and unmute. So if you don't want to get spoiled, I'm going to go like this, and then you can mute. I'll give you a countdown of 3, and then say the winner. And then when I do this again, you can unmute and then just watch the rest of this. So, anyways. So, the winner of this match was Naomi. And I was like, you know what? That's actually smart. Because technically, you could have Naomi go to TNA and win some TNA title, and the Money in the Bank briefcase will probably mean nothing. And you could also have Naomi win some title. There's a billion of them now for women's stuff here, and like again, that would probably mean nothing, but that would probably give Naomi a title for her feud with Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill, or maybe they can have a triple threat between the three of them and figure out their differences and f off and and we can resolve that feud with a title on the line. Whatever. But either way, Naomi will just have the case. Because I was like, man, I was hoping for Bliss to win, but I'm like, no, Bliss is not going to win. Bliss is barely, on, like, TV and whichever. And Rhea, like, it's getting to a point where she's just losing matches. So I'm like, well, it's obviously not going to be Rhea. And I'm like, please don't tell me it's just going to be Roxanne Perez, even though I'm like, you know what? Like, if they actually would have given it to Roxanne Perez, out of everyone in this match, I probably would have been fine about, even though logically I was like, they're going to do nothing with her because she's a nothing wrestler. To my eyes, she's a nothing wrestler, even though they're going on and putting her with Judgment Day. It seems that they're doing something with, but it's not enough. It's not. They're not repackaging her. They're not getting her to be a better character. She's just there. But again, but anyways, but Roxanne did have some good spots with Rhea here. With the whole ladder thing, and then her being smacked by the ladder, and there were some points in time where I was just like, all right, like, there was actually some good showcasing of some of these people. But anyways, you can unmute now. No more spoilers of that match beyond who was the winner. I said a little bit of stuff beyond who the winner was, but I carried on a little bit. So if you go on and you want to watch this twice, because I'm sure you probably won't, you can find out my little tidbits beyond who won this match. So let's go on and let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship between Octagon Jr., generic WWE downloaded guy, Pentagon knockoff. Just, I want the AAA to do really well, but when I look at all their stars, I'm just like, there is no quality there. It's just dudes that are just wearing masks, and I'm just like, I miss Lucha Underground. Can WWE buy Lucha Underground and take all of their stars and have it not be AAA and it'd be Lucha Underground? I liked Lucha Underground. I saw some episodes of Lucha Underground. Matt Stryker was the commentator, what have you. There were some standout guys in there. Beyond Johnny Mundo. But like when looking at AAA, I'm just like, man, just the quality is not there yet. Let's see if it gets there. But then again, I don't know. But Pentagon Jr., he did impress me with his moveset. Now with the looks, there is no it factor there. But there definitely is some moves that it's like, man, if they repackage this guy, there is some potential. But not to win this belt. So, and I say that just because like Dirty Dom is just so dominant right now that like people are getting behind his reign here, and I'm thinking we're just gonna hope that this is gonna like stay for a while. This is gonna stick for a while, and also like the fact of the matter is that since Liv doesn't have a championship, like having Dom have a championship makes all the sense in the world now. And Liv, because she didn't have anything on the card, is just to walk out with Dom. It's like, all right, this is like a good combination here. So, I was actually surprised that there wasn't some legitimate interference coming from like the Judgment Day just walking out there. But there was technically some interference with Liv in this matchup. Because, of course, that was to come into some kind of factor. But there wasn't any much of like shenanigans with like any belts or anything like that uh where really it was to be a match where we were thinking that like hey they did a screw job finish enough for us to just kind of not be satisfied by the result of this match because we knew how it was going to end freaking anyways. In all honesty, like freaking Octagon Jr., to me this just felt like Dominic Mysterio going up against some local. That's what it felt like this match was. I didn't know who Octagon Jr. was, and I didn't think I needed to care. So they need to figure out a way to make AAA care to me because I just don't. I didn't watch Worlds Collide or whatever the heck that nonsense was, and I couldn't be bothered to. if a if the heavyweight championship changed hands in AAA, or if a number of belts changed hands in AAA, then I would care. But I'm not going to care now. So, spoilers, everybody, for this Intercontinental Championship belt outing match. Dominic won. Wow, what a shocker. Because, yeah, like, Octagon was just basically a jobber. Oh, I shouldn't say jobber, I should say enhancement talent, because people like the phrase jobber. Whatever. Just, like, Octagon, like, just moveset, buddy. Just moveset. That's all you got. That's all you got is just moveset. Anyways. On to the next match. Yay! The Women's Intercontinental Championship via Valkyria, Big Bird wardrobe malfunction, and Becky Lynch stealing Seth Rollins' wardrobe, as well as also just still rusty. Still rusty. Man, it seems that after minutes after this match, I'm like, are they tired already? Yeah, we're wrestling. We get tired. How about you try to wrestle? See if you don't get tired after a minute of wrestling. Yeah, I'm sure I would. I'm sure I would. But, like, the further and further the match went on, and the more tired they got, I am just like, why is this match continuing to go on? They obviously, like, they are really running out of things to do. They're running out of things to do, and I'm running out of patience for this match. It's freaking boring. It's so freaking boring. Snooze. You're giving me hip tosses and superplexes and arm bars and Lyra is doing a bunch of submissions where she's putting her her boot to Becky's head and just kind of dragging her around, and like it feels like she's gonna do an ankle lock, and then she's not really doing an ankle lock. I'm like, come on, Lyra, give me something here. Do the whole surfboard thing like you did in the last PLE, because at least I might be intrigued by that, rather than what you're doing here. I like how this match honestly started. It started out kind of like a blood feud, how Lyra was kind of pounding away at Becky, and I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe this is gonna turn out to like a slugfest or like a barroom brawl kind of fight where it just kind of goes everywhere, and like they maybe have a double count out because they just I hate you, and maybe it's gonna be like that because like I wasn't really expecting for the title to change hands. Maybe it doesn't. And so we go to have had so many of these matches already that I'm like, I don't want to see any more of these. Stop this whole nonsense. Good God, man, if I see another time where another PLE has this match, I am effing skipping it. Seriously. I'll find out who wins the match, but I won't care how the match plays out because I'm so sick of this feud. It's going nowhere. Yeah, this person's Irish and that person's Irish. Woohoo! Yay! I don't care. Big Bird versus Irish Girl, the man. No mo. No mo. Spoilers, everybody. Becky wins the belt. And I'm like, yeah, like, finally. Because why would Lyra have the belt? She's doing nothing with it. But then also, I'm sure Becky won't do anything with it either. Because basically, either one of these people are so effing bland at this point that I'm like, someone else needs to take this belt that can actually do something with it. And it's definitely not these two. You need to give this to somebody that'll actually do something with it. And yeah, this is not it. Spoiler done now. Spoiler done now. So, we then get to the men's Money in the Bank battle match. Slap a match. Ladder match. Good times had by all. With all the factions and so on and so forth. So, Chad Gable has a freaking, like a cut on his back. Looking at this match, and I was like, man, why is he here? I feel so bad for him. But anyways, we had Andrade that did a few things in this match, but when was he ever really there? So they kept stacking ladders. They just kept bringing in ladders into the ring, and they, like one person would be like jockeying for, or two people would be on one ladder jockeying for position, and then all of a sudden people would just be randomly like bringing in other ladders. I'm like, okay, are they going to do anything with this? And no, they do dick of nothing with any of these multiple ladder things situated. And like, I'm like, God dang it. And then they go on and they set up one ladder outside of the ring. And I'm just like, okay, when are they going to pay out with that spot? And they don't do that to like the very near end. And I'm just like, so LA Knight sets up this ladder like forever ago. And then we forget about it. And it's like, oh, that's what the ladder was for. Oop. Oh, okay. Because we get to a point in the match where, like, Seth is calling for his buddies, for Breaker and Reed to come in the ring. And that's when actually the match picks up. Because I was so bored before. I'm like, why wasn't Braun Breaker and Reed, why weren't they just in this match anyways? Because I find them to be a lot more entertaining than any of these other wrestlers. You could have gone on and swapped Braun Breaker for Seth, and I actually would have probably just been more excited about this match then. But then again, we have all these other people that I'm just so sick of seeing. I am so sick of LA Knight. I am like, what is Solo gonna go on and really do here besides mock other people? And he's boring. Andrade is dead. Chad Gable, Alexandre, awesome, super delish man is really entertaining right now. But just, I knew he wasn't going to win. He wasn't going to win this match. Penta, like, Cero, Mero, yeah, like, he gave us the Mexican Destroyer. I'm like, off the ladder. I'm like, wow. If only he would have gone on and watched the match earlier and, and noticed something that was to have happened where there was two spots with a connecting ladder that did the code reds or Mexican Destroyers. And we then go into this match, and Penta does the exact same spot. And I'm just like, God, you guys are just so creative. Wow. But so, speaking of factions, we have Solo's faction that comes in, and it's Fatu, and it's JC, Mateo, Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb! And I'm like, all right, business is picking up, because I'm like, how is Fatu gonna go on and turn against Solo in this match? And surefire enough, without having me going on and watching anything of lead up, of anything of past weeks of this, I'm like, how is Fatu gonna turn on Solo right here? And poof, he does. And I'm like, wow, I could freaking call this like nobody's business. And so Fatu goes on and he does a move to then take out Solo and breaks a ladder. And I'm like, all right, LA set up that ladder for Solo to go into it. And so Fatu tells Solo that he hates him, and then he leaves. Why didn't Fatu go on and grab a ladder himself and then just take the briefcase and then leave with it? Well, who would have stopped him? No one. No one would have stopped Jacob Fatu. And then people could have just been like, well, okay, I guess like Fatu is just the Money in the Bank briefcase holder, because what is anybody going to do? And then also, Fatu should have actually been in this match and actually should have won. Because logically, I would have been happy with that. Even though actually he does have the United States Championship, or did he? Does he still have it? He didn't have it with him at that match, but I don't know. And so, with that said, the men's Money in the Bank match, like, I like the fact that this match was to build up the anticipation of like, man, who is gonna get this briefcase? All right, like, but again, like with the way that the women's match ends and the men's match ends, like we have absolutely nobody who is to go on and try and stop the person getting to the briefcase by the end of it, and then winner is crowned. And I'm like, man, this is kind of boring. And the way that the women's match ends just feels so boring. It just feels so just like, man, like people are like scrambling for the case. No, like we just have one person left and that's it. So and she's just kind of looking around and like, huh, and then she goes for the briefcase and opens it. So for the men's ladder matchione, we go on and we a crown. Spoilers, everybody. Spoilers. We give Seth freaking Rollins the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm like, the dude has gone on and won this in the past, and you're giving it to him now because he has this faction. And didn't he just go on and just wrestle like Jey Uso weeks ago for the title? And you're giving him this briefcase for what? For us to realize that Seth Rollins is to logically uh, be technically a really good number one contender for a world's heavyweight championship right now, and he doesn't really need the briefcase. And then also, like, with him having a faction, like, shouldn't he be able to easily win a championship match? And yeah, it's just like a lot of this just doesn't make sense to me. But he gets the briefcase. If anything, if I'm looking at these six people, and if I were to have gone on and chosen a winner here, I would honestly probably, besides Seth, because Seth is the obvious answer, I would have gone with Solo to really just have Solo get the briefcase. He wins the championship and then goes on to give it to Fatu. Because, yeah. Because I'm sure the Solo and Fatu story is going to last very long. And it's going to, every pay per view, it's going to change. It's going to be like, it's going to be Solo versus Fatu. And then it's going to be faction versus faction. And then it's going to be The Rock's going to get involved. And, oh, yeah. I'm assuming that this is going to drag on for way too long, like this review has. So let's go on and talk about the main event tag match. So some dissension in the ranks between both Logan and John Cena. That was really good in this match. Jey Uso was in the ring a lot, and then Cody was like, "All right, like I'm just gonna be just waiting for my time in the sun here." And also, there's some good stuff in the very beginning of this match where, like, we were thinking that Cody and Cena was gonna start the match, but then Cena just slaps Logan. It's like, "Hey, go in there," and then all of a sudden there's this quick tag, and then we're like, "Oh, we're gonna get where we're gonna want," and because of course Cena is ruining wrestling, so he's not wanting to give people what they want. So within this match, we also have to continue to not only in the entrance have Logan be playing with this drone thing. Now it's just going to become a thing in the match now, where Logan has to continue to use this drone and is grabbing to it, and we're thinking like, oh, Logan's going to do something really cool with this drone. No, the drone ends up just distracting himself, and then he ends up getting freaking taken advantage of by Cody and slammed. And I'm like, God, Logan, just this is really cool of an image to have seen, but also you look stupid. You looked stupid because you took all the time in the world to just wait for this drone. Give me drone, and then pow, you got freaking. Not only did you get like I think it was like superplex, but then we turn around and we then have him get splashed by Ray or Jey Uso. My bad. So I'm starting to wonder if the whole yeeting thing, like, does it still like have? Is everybody still like eating now? I think not everybody is to go on and just be eating. I think they're all just like, yeah, we just need something to do. Like, reasonably, I don't think the crowd was as heavily yeeted as they had been yeeted in the past. I think things are starting to weigh down on the Yeetster. The main event, Jay Yeeso. Yeetso. But hopefully that doesn't mean that his title changes to somebody else. There's a possibility that Jay will be facing off against Gunther on Raw. I'm honestly thinking that Raw is going to be some pretty entertaining. I should probably actually check it out. It sounds like there's going to be some good stuff there. So let's go on and talk about some surprises and the match result. So, firstly, before I actually get into the surprise, the actual who the surprise guest is in this match, I have to go on and say that there is a masked man that is to have worn a hood and had beat down on the John Cena, and this man. When we saw the back of this man, we're like, well, obviously we could probably tell who this guy is. But then again, when you feel me, say what's up. So, spoilers, everybody. Spoilers. The masked man was none other than Ron Killings, aka R-Truth, aka K-Swiss, aka some other name that he probably went on and was by that I probably mispronounced or missaid or misread. No, K Quick. Case. What was that goofy name that he had at one point? And here's my thing. So we have these hodgepodging of tag teams, and I am just like, well, it is cool that both Jay and Cody had matching gear, but Logan and Cena's gear didn't match. And also, like, there's ascension in the ranks. I'm like, okay, that was good, but like, really, you weren't thinking that they were gonna go on and work well anyways because it's Logan Paul and John Cena. So, but you were kind of hoping that they would work really well and that they would win because they didn't. Because Cody and the Eatster, they won. They Jay ends up getting taken out outside of the ring, and we had one good point where Cena, non spoilers. Let's talk about the match a little bit more. So we have at one point where Cena is going on and doing the AA on this table to Cody. And then Jay comes in and spears Cena. I'm like, all right, this is good. This is a good spot. Surprising to be had by all this day. But then also, we then have Paul that goes on and does his, because he has to just, every PLE, he has to go on and he has to hit somebody outside with the table. And so we have to keep that pattern. We got to drill into everybody that Logan Paul just loves to slam people on tables outside of the ring. Because that's just his thing that he always goes on and does. He tried to do it to Seth, and he landed on KSI. He does it to a number of other. So this is just his thing that he's known for. So Logan takes out Yeetster outside, the Yeet Man, the Yeetamizer. But Cody goes on and wins the match. So with that said, I'm happy that R-Truth had gone on and gotten seemingly unreleased from WWE, or maybe there was never a release of WWE, and it was just some storyline. Everybody's going and concocting this nonsense, but I think with the outcry of a number of people all upset, how dare they go on and release R-Truth? How dare they release this delicious, handsome man that we all love and has been in this company forever, and I hope he continues to be in this company forever, because he should, because he's that good in our minds. And a lot of us also, like me, wanted to go on and have Truth get a belt other than the 24/7 super awesome delish belt that he had gotten a billion times. And like I was thinking that, like, yeah, a lot of people thought that R-Truth was a butt of a joke, but I think there was also somewhere to go with this person, this character, this guy. And I was thinking that, how about finally give him a world title run? Because freaking why not? You've given everyone else a world title run. Like, if R-Truth is just a world champion for one day, then he's a world champion for one day. Like, I'm not saying give him the Roman Reigns treatment, where he just bizarrely just beats everybody. And it's like, how is R-Truth winning this? But it would be fun to just see R-Truth with a world title, to just see how that transpires. And also, R-Truth is now going by Ron Killings now, so I'm like, okay, like, what are we doing with this character? We're not turning him heel, are we? Or like, are we doing a different kind of R-Truth now? I'm curious. I'm curious to see where this is going. So, if anything, we're probably not going to get much from R-Truth or Ron Killings. Probably on Raw. But I'm also hoping that we're actually going to get some CM Punk on the card. Because, like, logically, if CM Punk is not on the card, I don't really care. Hence why I was looking at this card. I'm like, oh, there's no CM Punk. Why should I give a shit? Like, I was hoping that CM Punk was going to be in the Money in the Bank match, because at least I'd be interested in that. Even though, really, like, CM Punk has done a freaking enough with all these matches. He's in cage matches. He's in all these really brutal matches. So, if one thing to just do is to just kind of get him in a match that doesn't get him injured, that would be great. Um, but logically, I think it's about that time to call this thing a review, so I can go on and get the F out of here and just upload this, because I'm sure people may actually watch this. People might actually click into it, and they'll probably feel clickbaited because they're like, "You're not a real wrestling fan," and I'm like, "I guess I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I haven't watched everything of wrestling from, uh, and I'm not an expert, and I don't know everything about everything. Um, but I at least talked about Money in the Bank, so there's that. So goodbye, everybody. Bye, everybody.